it's 5:30, so it's time to call into session the January 21st meeting of the El Reno Development Commission. We'll start with the roll call of officials. Mr. Savage.
Bob Savage here. Tim Roby.
Greg Silent.
Jackie Lane.
Jerry Dennehy.
Tom Austin. Mr. Bill Savage. We have a quorum. So let's work our way to item number 4. So the next item, or first item of action tonight, is the election of officers and determination of 2026 meeting dates. Is there a motion from anybody on the commission like to be made?
I got a motion that we leave Tom Austin as president.
You want to make a package deal with, well, do we need a new vice president?
No, that was Kyle. Jackie took it.
Okay.
I thought I was secretary.
That's what Kyle was.
Okay.
I'm the
Yeah.
vice president.
Okay. We're about the same officer. Anybody okay with that? Okay, you want to amend your motion, Tim?
Sure.
You just do?
Yeah. I'm gonna amend it to leave the officers the same as it was last year.
Okay.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. We have 2 sets of minutes.
Meeting dates.
I'm sorry, meeting dates for 2026. What are your thoughts about continuing to meet on Wednesday evening at 5:30? Is that okay? I need a motion to set the meeting schedule for the 3rd Wednesday of the month, each month for the calendar year 2026. So I have a motion to that effect.
So moved.
Thank you. Motion by Mr. Donahue. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Roby. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So we have the officers set and the meeting dates set. Thank you. So we have 2 sets of minutes we need to approve, consider and approve. One is the amended minutes from November 19th. And we have the next set of minutes from December 17th. I trust you've had a chance to review the minutes. I have a question, Mr. Farr, on the minutes from the November meeting. It's on the last page, second paragraph. We were talking about Sunset Cemetery, where it starts by saying Jerry Donahue advised the commissioners that the roads are horrible near Sunset Cemetery out across from Morris. Jerry, I honestly don't know what that means. Out across from Morris.
I don't either.
So,
It's correct. The location of the cemetery? I probably was supposed to say Boar like that.
out across who?
Boar.
Oh, Ward. Okay. If that is the case, then let's get this amendment set, amended again, and change that to out across from Morris. Are you all right with that?
Yeah.
I don't know anybody out there whose last name is Morris, so that's why I bring it up.
Well, either that or where Ernie Reichert used to live. Every time we'd have a service out there, his old dog come over, take a leak on the flower, and head back home.
What's his dog's name, Morris?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, can we agree to amend the word Morris and insert Boris? I think the people who live in Ernie's house are named Etchison now. But anyway, are you okay with that change?
Yes.
Morris to Boris?
Yes.
Okay. That's my recommended change for the November 19th minutes. Is there a motion to approve that change?
Motion.
Motion by Tim, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Greg, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. On the December minutes, everything was clear for me when I looked at it, so does anybody have a question about the December minutes? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the December 17th, 2025 minutes of the meeting we had that afternoon.
Second.
We have a motion from whom?
Motion.
Motion by Tim, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jackie, all in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign, thank you. Okay. Are we at the point,
You can do your.
we'll pay bills, then I'll call it. Okay. So we have, Bill, help us with the claims. I think there is one strike on the claim before we take action, Bill, so we'll follow your lead on that.
Yes, so we had some questions on the payment to the school, the second payment to the school, and we need, the State Board of Accounts has presented a set of stricter guidelines, and basically we need to review and get some more information from the school, a description of the services and vendors' names, different things. It's in an email from Jeff Graham today. So basically we need to pull that out, pull the $170,558.03 amount from the approval of claims, which would make then that total, that section, that total $27,295.02.
Plus the bill from the settlement fund.
Would it be
Or
possible?
does that include the settlement fund?
No.
No, what?
27,295.02 plus the 14,6250.
Yes, the 14, yes, plus, yes, the total amount would be the $27,295.02 plus the $14,6250.
Okay.
Yes.
Would it be possible for me to ask for some clarification, Mr. Austin?
Yes, sir. Please step forward, Dr. Troy, and ask away.
Thank you, sir. First off, again, just like to thank the ERC for their continued support and helping us with our projects at the school. The ERC helped fund our welding lab before, which greatly appreciated that. The process that we did for that ask was I had provided the ERC with an itemized list of what the project was going to cost. The ERC had approved that, and then after the project was complete, we provided a detailed invoice, itemized list of what the costs were, and received that money reimbursed. And that project was a little bit different in nature, in that we already knew that the cost was going to exceed the ask for the ERC. The nature of this project has been different in that we were dependent on the money to complete the project. And so far, and I did bring some invoices with me, have hard copies and electronic copies as well. To date, we've spent approximately $110,000 on the renovation of the elementary, but we have not done near the extent of the renovations to the intermediate library, just because of the uncertainty of the payments being in two this time and not knowing what that second amount would be. So I'm a bit confused as to requesting or providing invoices for the second half of the project when we provided the invoice and the cost estimates at the beginning of the year and received the first half of the payment. But now we don't know for sure how much money we have to work with for the second half based on those correspondences that I received today. So I'm just looking for some guidance. And
Yeah, Mike, can you help
Yeah,
out?
I'll be glad to respond. Did you get Mr. Graham's memo?
I did, yes.
Okay. Well, as it said, the SBA guidelines say you do not have to spend the money first when you turn the receipt, but you have to, and I'm going to pick any particular item you wanted, but chairs.
Yes.
how many chairs, from whom do you intend to buy them, how much is each chair, and if you have 5 of them, what's the total?
Okay.
That's what you have to do.
So you don't need the invoices?
Huh?
So you don't?
Well, if you haven't already spent it, you have to show us where you got the number. Who's the manufacturer? Who's the distributor? And actually, you have to propose what you're planning to spend.
Okay.
How many chairs from what company? Smith Brothers Lazy Boys, for kids, that's fine. How many of them are you going to have, and how much for Lazy Boy?
Okay.
That's what's missing out of this, that as I look at it, and I just saw it this evening for the first time, there are various invoices that said you're gonna spend $20,000 for maker space equipment. Is that one desk, or is that a building?
Okay.
There's gonna be $20,000 for mobile shelving systems. That to me applies more than one, but is that 11?
Okay.
And who manufactured them? Where are you gonna buy them? And how much are they? So I'm not being critical. What I'm saying is, that's what the SBA requires of us. Or if ERC approves an expenditure of $25,000 for interactive technologies, I wouldn't pretend to guess what that was. That's very beyond my pay grade. But whatever that is, they would absolutely not approve that expense. So here, knowing there's gonna be an audit of this, what has to happen is, you need to submit, here, we're gonna buy 5 of these, here's how much it'll be. The resolution provides that it'll go up, can go up to a certain amount. This year, they voted a specific dollar amount. But you've got to show, if your total renovation comes up $17.19 short, they can't give you the $17.19. That's what.
Yes, and that makes sense, yes.
Okay. And
I
that's all
think,
it's about.
yes, and I think, when I don't remember off the top of my head right now, when I made this initial request, I think it was last, I'll say May, maybe?
Yeah, it says May 21.
Yeah, so I mean, it would've been nice to know all of that then, and we received half of the payment already, so I mean, this is the first time hearing this piece of it. So, if we would've known that back in May, we could have surely provided.
Yeah, so.
But we'll be happy to do
what
that
I've
this time.
done so where, submit the actual invoices for what you spend, and what you need to spend.
So you want
Get a
actual,
catalog to show from whom you're buying it and how much they are.
sure, and that makes sense.
I would suggest talking to Allison, the court treasurer.
Okay.
Yeah, you're very helpful.
Part of it, I think, they just went through a state board of accounts audit.
That does get your attention.
So I think
Sure
some
does.
of this new requirements came from this new audit.
Yeah.
And I did receive the email a couple hours ago, but I was in the middle of another meeting and I didn't really have time to digest it. And I knew this was gonna be talked about tonight, so I appreciate you allowing me
It's
to
dated
ask and get some
2/3,
information.
so,
Yeah. Yeah, so,
all right, does that help?
it does.
And if you have questions, call us, but talk to Allison, because she just went through that's a great idea, thanks, Bill. And
Yeah.
just went through the audit,
Yeah,
and they would find something wrong with whatever we do, but.
yes, they will. Okay, well, thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. That helps.
So Mr. Farr, based on what you're saying, we can place this on the February meeting
Sure.
agenda. And
Yeah,
between now and
does that
then,
give you sufficient time?
Oh, absolutely.
we'll give you some time to
Absolutely.
get out some more
More
answers.
agenda.
Yeah.
We don't want the state board of accounts to swoop down and strike us.
No, I would not wish that upon anyone. Thank you all very much.
Thanks for your understanding, Troy, appreciate it.
Have a good evening.
You too. Okay, so the amended grand total then is 28,757.52, is that right, Joe?
Yes, sir.
Do I have a motion to approve the claims in that amount?
So moved.
Motion by Tim, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jackie, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, Bill, we have just paid the claims. I'm gonna ask Christie to approach the microphone for a special announcement.
All right. working to try to get $1 million from the Ready 2.0 grant. This process started, I looked back at my emails today, and it was sometime before August of 2023. We have worked late nights, we've had 3-hour-long phone calls late at night, there's been blood, sweat, and tears, lots of tears for me, and probably a lot from Rob for having to deal with me through this process. Then, the beginning of the year, we get a new administration, and they want all new stuff, okay, so today I received an email at about 4:20 that says, congratulations, your Ready 2.0 project has been approved by the IEDC. The confirmation email is attached, and early next week I will send you the legal agreement for the grant. After the document is executed, you may begin submitting disbursement information. This is obviously for the Elwood Sports Complex, and the actual award says the IEDC has determined that the project Elwood Sports Complex is eligible for funding. No further action is required from this time. So this is like the best news we could have got. I can't begin to express the importance that the CED has played in getting $1 million for our city for this project. Because to be quite honest, Bill and I have talked about this. We couldn't have done this on our own. They guided us, they supported us, they talked me off the ledge countless times when the state would ask for duplicate things. I mean, we've been through this. Duplicate things in different ways, and but they held my hand through it all, and together as a team, we accomplished it today. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because it's the most exciting news I've had probably in my time with the city. So.
Well, that's great news, Christie.
Well done.
Thanks to you and thanks to Rob. And,
Thanks, Rob.
or after the meeting, can we expect you and Rob to do somersaults out in the foyer? Just to celebrate? Thanks for sharing that. Appreciate it. And congratulations.
You're on the agenda now, anyway,
Oh, next?
for the building.
Maintenance bill.
Oh, me? Okay, perfect.
So,
Change hats.
Christie, you, and I'm going to ask Clay to join you at the microphone because there's a parallel request that he wants to elaborate on, so we'll follow your lead, Christie.
No batteries in the mic.
Are there no batteries in the microphone?
I don't know, oh my, aw. Trying to get it, thanks. Thanks, Mr. Potter.
What, you want to move back? So what?
No, I want it down. Oh, jeez.
I thought you got.
That was a, thank you, thank you.
You need to put me back on the microphone. Sorry. It's got batteries in it.
We're good.
Are we good now?
You can turn it on.
It's all working.
Okay, Christie, you have the floor.
So now I told you we got money for something, so now we're gonna ask for money. As you know, I've been here the last 2 months talking about the need for a maintenance building. Just to kind of briefly go over it, they're all here this evening, so all 4 of them are here. Okay. They deserve a safe place to work. They're the only city department that does not have a building of some sort to work out of. By providing a building, they're no longer gonna have to use our break room to cut wood. So imagine wanting to go heat up your lunch and they're in there sawing boards because they don't have a place to work. Their vehicles would be able to be housed indoors, and this bucket truck, it's really hard on their vehicles, especially the bucket truck, and we depend on that for the lights and even street light stuff. And to buy a new one, like told me today, would be $100,000 to buy a new. So we need to maybe this one that we have as much as we can, and getting it indoors would be the ideal situation. It would give them a place to store items, because right now they're currently storing items in a semi-trailer that Bob French generously is letting their department use. So they imagine how tall that is, and anytime they need something, they have to get up in the back of this semi-trailer to get their stuff out. They had to move everything out of the utility office. So that's where they also have stuff at the wastewater. So they're kind of borrowing stuff, and then they work out of the shed out back. They also don't know exactly where they're gonna store the rest of the Christmas lights that haven't come down yet. So, you know, obviously, and then no longer would all four maintenance employees have to be in this tiny office that's really just a little bit bigger than a closet. You know, they're just on top of one another. It's just not fair to them. So I know I've said that before, but I kind of wanted to go over it again. I've given you copies of the estimates that are the quotes that I have, and what I did, I'm still waiting on Kingston Concrete. Unfortunately, he was out of state and couldn't give me a quote, but that would be my third quote for the concrete. If we took, I just did this, if we took the highest bid on everything, the maximum cost of this project would be $142,454 to get this department what they deserve, to be safe and to help, you know, save the vehicles and all that stuff.
Could you help me for a moment?
Yes, absolutely.
When you say the maximum bid,
If I took let's just say the highest bid, like the most the project would cost. So the highest was the $33,734 on the concrete, and the highest was the $64,720 on the building. And then they have $44,000 in additional costs, which I think I put in your packets, a little spreadsheet in your packet. That might be the very back page, that shows, maintenance, their department themselves will take care of all of that except for the overhead garage doors. And, you know, they've got this quote from Jamie Jetty for the overhead garage doors.
so can I, just for my sake and the sake of the audience, I'm going to identify the company that submitted the quote and what I think their quote is, okay? And if everybody here agrees with that, I think people out there need to know
Sure.
what kind of money we're talking about. So, as I look at what you gave me when we met in your office, we have Hilti Construction from Wabash with a quote of $44,500. Just correct me if I'm
That's correct.
correct me if I make a mistake. We have a quote from Anthony, $47,936.
Okay, do you want, they're a little tricky to read, do you want me to do them, off? Okay, because that cost is the cost after the down payment, so you're gonna have to look up, so the next one, I think it might be Anthem, and it's just cut off, maybe.
Okay, so what is
But
their quote?
their quote is $63,886. If you look up at the top of that, it's just before the
I see.
deposit, okay?
Thank you.
CSI, Capital Steel Building Quote, theirs is $64,720,
Okay.
okay? And then we have General Steel Corporation at $58,959. And this one might not be in the packet from my office, but in the one that I gave you this evening, is Tim Nichols and Sons, local company, $57,790.
Okay.
Those are for the buildings, okay?
40 by 72.
What?
For the 40 by 70.
Okay.
So I've got a quick question on those. As I was reading through them, just
Yes, it is, yeah.
to clarify on these, from what I was looking at, I know there's a difference in price, but I've also noticed that some of these, like General Steel, Capital Steel, those are with steel I-beam construction as well. For some of them just say trusses, so I'm guessing they're wooden trusses, you know. Is that correct?
Yes.
The only thing I don't know is on the Anthem one, I don't see what, Okay, I'll be,
I asked them all for the same thing.
yeah, so I'm guessing these three are all steel, complete steel. So I'm assuming Hilti and Nichols are gonna be like your typical pole barn, which have wooden trusses.
Yes.
And these other ones are, so if you're,
So the building out there now, does that building have trusses?
Steel trusses, yeah.
Steel trusses.
and that one was from General Steel, is that correct? The one that's out there now?
Yes.
Steel, I think, is steel. Yeah. General Steel is the steel trusses.
Okay.
And what that is they use less,
Concrete.
they'll use less steel trusses than what they would
I think
wooden
they're both
trusses
concrete.
to put it together.
This is, yeah, they're both concrete.
Yes.
So the initial cost, the 44,000 is an addition to all this.
Correct.
So that nobody bid plumbing installation?
No, because the maintenance department's gonna do that themselves. They're gonna do all of that work themselves, except for the overhead garage doors. So I would have to,
What you're saying is this is a savings from the cost. Like,
That would be.
that's the shell of the building, basically. That's the shell of the building. Then we have a concrete estimate, or quotes, and then we have that. That finishes out the building. If it transitions.
If you would take that total, those totals of all this building, and add $25,000 to that, that's what you'd be saving. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna build the building, we'll take care of the rest, the electrical, plumbing and stuff.
I'm still confused.
Sorry.
Is somebody gonna get $12,000 to put insulation in the building? Or is it not gonna insulate it, or
No.
there's an estimate for $12,000?
Correct, that's the price that the maintenance department quoted for the material, not the labor for them to be
So
able to
these
do
are
it
just
themselves.
material costs.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. But if we had a base permit do it, it would be substantially more because of the labor that they would.
Well, they would add their cost to that.
Right.
Material, right?
Right.
So, okay, so these are buildings without these things in it,
Correct.
that these items would be purchased and maintenance will install them.
There you go.
Ah, okay.
And maintenance will install those items during your typical work day, work week. Pardon me?
Correct.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Don't be sorry. So that's all I have, and then I have the two concrete estimates, and like I said, I have one coming from Kingston Concrete, but he was in Colorado, and he was on the road to Colorado, and couldn't get it for me. So we have Cornerstone Outdoors with an estimate of $32,500, and LaSure Concrete for $33,734. Both of these are local businesses as well. And then Kingston is Franklin,
Yeah.
when I get that one.
So, Tim and Greg, I have a proposal to have you guys consider. You guys have a background in construction, or you have awareness of what it takes to have quality work. I think that's an accurate statement. Would you agree with me?
Yeah.
Would you two agree to meet separately? And I guess the question, hold that thought, the question for you two is time is always of the essence. Can we afford to wait until Tim and Greg tells us in February what their preference is in terms of the quotes for both of you?
We're at your mercy. We would like you to fund these, so we'll wait as long as we need to, but I mean, time is of the essence just because we don't obviously have ideal work situations every day. So, and then we have to take into consideration the time that it's gonna.
But,
Mr. Farr?
well, yeah, but you still have to be at the lowest and the best bid.
Yeah.
And we luckily have somebody here who's qualified to go through these and make a recommendation as to, is the third one better than the fifth one? That, So I don't think that can be done tonight, but that has to be voted on before. I mean, you can make a decision tonight that you want to go forward with the construction project, and you can accept these as the costs and the bids, but you're gonna have to study and take recommendation of what is the best bid. It may or may not be the lowest, it could be the lowest and best, but, so I don't think they can do that tonight. They can approve a building tonight with this concept and say that they'd like to go forward with it and utilize that. And you could theoretically have a special meeting between now and the February meeting if somebody was ready. But you're gonna have to, somebody's gonna have to study this and knows what they're reading and say which one is the better bid, because they've done what you said. Everybody made little changes, and everybody does that in a bid.
What about Jim's idea of negotiating a lower price if you given them both projects? Would you have to go back to each of the bidders and request the same thing?
Have you already approved it as a project?
Well, there's two different projects, so we got.
This is place, and this is for the maintenance guys. You got the, you're using the same.
Okay, well, I'm only talking about this one, Christie's project.
Help clear up what's the difference between 40 by 72 and 30 by 40? Two different buildings or somehow connected?
Two different buildings.
One's the park,
Okay, the park is a small.
the smaller one, and then it's 40 or 70 or 72.
You can treat them, as joint projects, but somebody still has to take a look at each one and determine what is, take recommendations.
So, I'm going back to my request. Are you two, do you have time you can meet and review this information? And reach out to the people who proposed the project, and then to incorporate what Bob just said. We're looking at two projects. Sharpen your pencils. What kind of numbers are we looking at now? Could you two do that for us? And
Does that change the bidding process?
I'm sorry?
Does that have any impact on the required bidding process?
Well,
Negotiate the price on both projects?
well, yeah, you can do a price on both projects. You can do them individually, and it would. So what you're trying to do is if you go to one, are you trying to say if I go to one individual or do both of them, he might come down on the price? I mean, ask him and ask each one of them that question. That makes perfect sense. I mean, a dozen of something is theoretically cheaper than 5.
Because a lot of times, a lot
Sure.
of the cost is getting the equipment in and
Sure.
that kind of stuff.
yeah.
And so, that surely should be a consideration. If only one of the individuals, and let's say he's theoretically the highest on each building, but says, let me do both of them, and he winds up the lowest, that absolutely is a consideration and must be considered. So there's nothing wrong with that.
So, I'd like to say this with confidence, but I'm going to ask Mr. Farr to correct me if I'm wrong. If we agree that Greg and Tim become a subcommittee looking at this information, can the commissioners tonight, Mr. Farr, take a public vote to cast their approval that this needs to be done, the rationale behind it is sound, so move forward knowing that you're going to get, you each are going to get a building,
2 buildings.
2 buildings.
I think we already did with Clay.
Well, let's throw Christie into the mix. Let's do that. So, is that legally sound?
Sure, yeah, that's fine, subject to final determination of which contracts to proceed on.
Yeah.
And which would determine the final cost. But approve the concept of putting up a maintenance building and approve the other building if you have it, that you're gonna do it based on these concepts. Absolutely.
Jerry?
And follow Bob's guidance.
Yeah, I'd like to know, we got some, maintenance employees out here. How many we got from Elwood?
All of them.
And you've looked over these plans?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And know we bought one metal building for, since I've been on this committee. The prices, all of these are pretty much in line. And I agree with having these two gentlemen down here have our committee, but I would like for them to maybe ask these people if they have a preference of what building.
Not particularly, no. See, the idea was to build it out there in the street department where they've got their building. And that building is big enough for the maintenance shop, and it would benefit the street department also. They could even use part of it, you know what I'm saying? So it'll be located out there in the street department, behind gates and everything, and if they need to pull a couple trucks in, there's gonna be plenty of room for that. But the main thing is getting our vehicles, the big bucket truck that runs on hydraulics, because if it's below freezing, them hydraulics, it's like syrup running through there, and they just don't work. It's real slow, but if you keep it in a heated building, as soon as you get in that truck and get out, you can run the hydraulics, you see what I'm saying? It just runs a lot better. But workshop and storage, we gotta have storage with all these Christmas lights. We've got, how many, like 120 reels of Christmas lights that we use, that we used to store out there. Now we've got them in a semi-trailer that we have to, lift up, just like walking in a trailer. You have to lift everything out of the vehicle, and it's all in a straight row on the sides, and there's an aisle down the middle, and we still got a trailer full of spools, and we still haven't got the lights off the building, so mainly is storage.
Okay, if these two gentlemen would contact Christie to get their names, if this happens, I tell you, I think we got one of the best maintenance people of any cities. I'd put them up with any of them. When you call them, they don't say, well, we'll get that in the morning or this evening or a couple of weeks. Depends on what you're calling. I mean, they come up, and when they do a good job, I mean, they clean everything up.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of things that we have done. And I know I would appreciate good work. Thank you.
I can get you guys the contact information too from all these, the direct person that I got the email from and all that stuff. So when you reach out, you have all their contact information, okay?
So I would like for a motion to be made to ask Greg and Tim to work together on this initiative. And should they reach a point where they have a recommendation ready prior to our next meeting, which is February the 18th, I assume we could have a special meeting.
You could
To do it if we would
or
like.
if you're ready in advance.
If not, have the recommendation to us by the 18th of February, and we're gonna move forward.
So moved. Congratulations. You calling for a vote?
Yes, is there a second to the motion? Jerry made. Second by Greg. Thank you very much, guys, for agreeing to do this. Is there a nay vote to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Good luck, we'll see you sometime before next month.
Thank you.
Have a great evening. Thanks for all you do.
Hey, Tim and this other gentleman, what's your name? Greg.
Greg.
You can come by the office at any time, and we're there, we can talk, and if you have any questions, because him and I have constructed our whole life, so we can get together, and then you can try to get a better idea of what we're trying to do. Well, come on, man. Yep. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
The other, we're going to get to you next day or so or whatever.
Yes. Probably within the day, the next 24 hours, I imagine.
Okay, bill letter C, I have state plating future use discussion, Brad from Sesco. And he's here. Hi, Brad.
Good evening. Got some new faces, I'll introduce myself and then go over some background. Brad, I have from Sesco Group. Last time I was here was September 2025. At that point in time, I requested some money for development of a work plan, just an item, describing what we're going to do to do some additional groundwater sampling. That was approved in that September meeting. plan, submitted it in November to IDM. They got back to us about a month later in December, approved the work plan. So this budget tonight, part of the budget tonight, is to seek approval for the actual field work and completing all the field work and all the planning ahead of that, and all the sampling and the reporting, and then submitting that to IDM. That's the first, if you have a copy of the proposal, that's the first two items. And then there's also some additional costs for 2025 hazardous waste reporting that's required by federal government, actually, federal and IDM. That's to be submitted by March 1st. And we also have money set aside for doing what's called item requires an annual report. It's a state form we have to fill out. It's required by statute. That's due by January 31st. And then the last thing is to set aside some project management time for 2026. So the total budget for this proposal we're seeking is $64,946. And then at the very bottom, to kind of assist looking on the horizon as far as completion of the project, at the bottom of the page 4, the estimated timeline. I kind of went through there and gave all the steps in chronological order, all the different tasks, the estimated timeline, and then the remaining budgets, estimated budgets that would cover the cost of all that. And I do want to point out, I know a lot of folks here know this already, but this budget would come out of the state plating insurance settlement, so everything is still in line because we set aside a good amount of money to do the project, and so we're still on track. Right now, the estimated timeline, there's a couple item review periods figured in there. We'll be going until about May 2027. That's our best estimate right now. So if we get approval on this budget tonight, we would schedule the additional groundwater sampling, probably for February or March, and then submit the report, followed by item review period, and then we'll go from there. So that's kind of that in a nutshell, if that makes sense. If you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
I just have a question, Brad, maybe it's on this budget sheet. And maybe it's not. Does anybody know roughly what we have left in settlement balance?
Yeah, it's on the budget sheet.
Okay. Oh, I see, right side, I got you.
$1,087,236.52, including Brady, there's $8,169.12 still left in the previous contract. You knew about that.
I think so, yeah, I've been keeping a spreadsheet as well. I know our
That's what
figures.
she's got.
Okay, I know our figures vary a little bit just because there's other
Yeah, you
costs
guys
aside
are
from us
working
that come out of the state plating budget.
So there, Tom, you got.
Yes, sir, I have that, thank you. Brad, thank you for coming this evening. I'll entertain a motion to approve the proposal from Sesco Group. I have a motion from Mr. Nunnehay, is there a second? Second from Mr. Rubin, all in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, Brad, I think we need a signature while you're here.
Thank you for your time, appreciate it.
You want to get your signature now, then you can,
Or Bill can scan it to me if he always does, and send it to me later tomorrow.
okay, Bill, what do you want to do about a signature for Brad on the document?
Brad's already signed it, you just need yours.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll follow your lead, Bill. But it's the 21st. That's the 2. Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
You wanna take it with you, Brad, and then you can scan it back.
Sure, I can scan it and email it to you. All right, thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Okay, next item I have on my list are golf links, appraisals, pool house, and clubhouse. What's the update on that project, Bill?
They're working on the appraisals. That's where we're at.
Okay. So, we can assume that we'll have the completed appraisals by the February meeting.
Did you get my note about
I forwarded should be.
Well, let's leave this on the agenda or old business for next month.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. The next item I have is, find it somewhere in this mess. Okay, Rob, I think you were up on this one, is that correct? Madison County Economic Development Fee Agreement. Thank you for being here this evening. You have the floor. I'm sorry, Christie. I'm sorry you're getting harassed with Christie, but go ahead.
She's heckling from the crowd. It's okay. It goes with the
She
territory.
does that a lot.
Yeah. A couple points on that grant. And I've been around long enough to know sometimes you guys are, you arrive at, when someone steps before you and it's the first time you hear stuff. So I'm kind of trying to get a schedule from the IDC, and we are going to need to have an expenditure on that grant by the end of the year, in 2026. And it has to be totally spent by the end of 2028. But that project is still not launched in total with some things going on the property. But all that's gonna come before you guys, probably in the next few months, if we're going to get those expenditures. And what we targeted on that spend down was the steel for the framing, which would be ordered as soon as the contract is let, because it takes several weeks for the steel to come in. So that would give us, and we don't have to spend the entire thing down, but we do need to be able to pull the trigger on that. I don't want to get caught in a tripwire there and end up potentially losing an opportunity, assuming we're still moving forward with the project. And I have no reason to think we're not, but we're going to hopefully get some information from the folks that are working on the plan and try to get that advanced during the next 2 to 3 months. But I think we probably need to be, you guys do enough bids and projects, this thing needs to be ramped up probably by May if we're gonna get to the process where we need to be at, we will make the expenditures.
So can you say with a certain level of assurance that we have this obligation to at least start spending down this grant by the end of calendar year 2026?
Yeah, but it's gotta be targeted at the items that we targeted, which are front-end items. I think there was some earthwork as well, or engineering. So we don't have to spend a chunk of it, it just needs to be triggered by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And again, the reason I put the steel package on is because that makes a lot of logical sense, we're gonna be spending that money on the front end.
And on the front end of this project means it would be a commitment that the sports complex is going to happen.
Well, certainly, that doesn't happen until you guys are blessed with the redevelopment commission.
Yeah, with that scope and agreement.
And all the questions you have have been answered, and the plan is together, the budget's put together, and all the things, we've kind of been working for.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Fair enough?
Yeah, thank you.
So, I will be, that is a point I'm watching, because I don't want to get into May and not be progressing with information. I'm not dealing with that directly, but you guys need to be looking at that stuff over the next 3 months, I think.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
And you're right, scoping agreement. You need to be moving on that.
they're working it though, right?
Yeah.
Yes, any questions for Rob while he's here tonight?
So over the last year, we work as a team. I don't want to discount Bill as well. And Jackie helped, we did some stuff on the Main Street corridors at part of the year, trying to get it back on the open list. Working through a transition of the state government, even with it being the same party, is a bit more difficult than it probably needs to be. And to be honest, navigating some of those channels have been very difficult. But I believe we're on the path to get the OPER component back together, which is a big benefit to the community. A lot of people are going to have Bill help out. I mean, Christie's there. We do work as a team, and we'd like to. The mayor wants us to. I call him before I call anybody else, and he said, "Yeah, we'd like to have you here." And we're just here to renew the contract as an annual thing. So.
Okay. Well, very good.
Are there any changes in from last year? look like the same contract.
It's the same
Yeah,
contract,
there's no verbiage change.
minor increase in the
Yeah.
Due to the population.
population went up about 10.
But we had previously approved the language, so
Yeah.
So I need a
from my
motion,
standpoint, we have nothing in it.
I need a motion to approve this fee for service agreement between the Elwood Redevelopment Commission and the Madison County Economic Development Group. Is there a motion to
I'll make
approve?
a motion.
Have a motion from Greg, is there a second? Second from Tim, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say yea, nay. Okay, so we have unanimously approved this fee agreement for 2026, and you need signatures from me. I'll sign it after the meeting.
Sure.
Thank you, Rob, for coming over tonight.
Thank you.
The next item is the Heartland MPO contract regarding ADF coordinator facilitation services. Bill, please guide us through this discussion. Or who should?
Currently, this is a renewal of a contract
Okay,
with the Heartland NPO, which is formerly known as the Madison County Council of Governments. And same thing, 2-year contract. They performed all the ADA services needed and necessary. Just recently, they updated the, what plan was that, with the Mandy, with the ADA transition plan that's required, and there's plans, these plans are required by NDOT to be eligible for the NDOT project, so this just an update, next 2-year renewal on that.
and so the annual cost is $5,000.
And it's the same as it was.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve this MPO contract. Is there a motion to that effect? It's not exciting language, but if you can't sleep, I recommend you read it. We have a motion from Mr. Rogan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Ms. Lane. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Any audience member have something to say tonight, or would like to approach the microphone? Please, sir. Just state your name and why you're here.
I'll raise it up for you guys. My name is Michael Pelser. I am a business owner in Madison County. A few businesses you might know. I own Jack's Water. I just recently bought Kevin's Saltwater, so I am the owner of Kevin's Saltwater. I've had contacts with Mr. Graham and the mayor, and I don't know how far they brought it to you guys, but I'm looking at leasing some property, providing that the state of Indiana approves my future business that I've already applied for. So I am looking to put a CDL driving school in the city of Elwood. So that being said, that we will have probably 4 to 5 employees training CDL drivers. I was informed that you guys in the city of Elwood only has 1 CDL driver on your payroll. So with working with the mayor and I suppose you guys, Mr. Graham, that we're providing the state awards me with the CDL school. We're looking at putting out at the old state plating on the concrete. There would be no manufacturing, no money out of your guys' pocket. So I'm not up here asking for money, so that's a good thing for you guys. I'm taking care of everything on it. I think it'd be a good addition to the city of Elwood. With that would be just the driving side of it, and then we're looking at either purchasing a building or renting a building for the city for you guys to put a school on it. I've already the semis, the trailers, having it all there, it's a win-win for Hines as well, it's a win-win for the community. I don't know where we're at with it, right now we're just waiting on the state to approve the application for the CDL school. It was, everything was due on January 6th, and they're supposed to give the award before spring, is what they said. We're moving with the state, that's all faster I got, so. Any questions for me? I will be more than glad to answer them on any of the businesses I own. I put you guys a star on top of your tower because I'm in the tower business, so, anything you got for me, I'm willing to answer.
Well, I can tell you, Bob Savage is on our school board. And I used to be superintendent, trying to find bus drivers
Absolutely.
with a CDL license has always been difficult, and my guess is it's not any easier now.
And you know what? There's not a school in the state of Indiana that has a school bus to offer. You have to bring the bus from either a school administration, a school board, something to that neighborhood. I'm actually in talks with Franklin LaBelle buying one of their old buses, and when this all goes through, I will have a bus. So somebody that doesn't work for the school, I mean, if you don't work for the school, you want your CDL, you want to drive the basketball team, you can come out there, take a test, you get your license and go. So I'll be the first one to offer that for the state.
Well, that's great. I've seen a Jack's water truck on North A, B, or C.
Yeah, I have, I think I have, for Jack's, I have 5 employees that live in the city of Elwood.
Oh, good, good.
So,
Well, that's great.
How many schools is
right now, there's only 6 schools in the state of Indiana that offer CDL schools. One of them's in one of them's in Muncie, and one of them is in Kokomo, one in Indianapolis, Evansville, Fort Wayne, and then up by Chicago somewhere.
And I'm correct that here, what was it, a couple of years ago, they mandated that you have to go through the school to get your CDL now.
Yeah, it's a 250-hour class that you have to take.
You can no longer just go get your CDL, because when I did mine, you could go test and then do your.
Yeah, $150 when I got mine 30 years ago. That's what it cost me, was $150. And it was
And
just,
now you have to actually take the course.
yeah, it's like a 250-hour class. So with that being said, if I have a classroom here, we're looking at hiring teachers that can teach the class, anywhere from 10 to 20 students, or I call them students, but they're more than like 18 to however old they want to be
Yeah.
in the town, coming in and out, so.
Mr. Farr.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. This is what I thought was, and what Mr. Graham told me, that he thought was the special meeting. That
That's what I thought it was too, that's why I was here.
After the meeting with the mayor, which I walked in late, and the discussion was this CDL training thing and the potential for leasing part of state plating. That it is contingent upon getting permission to use state plating, of course, and contingent upon him getting to school. But we prepared a MOU setting forth all those contingencies. And so when I first came in and tried to explain what I thought it was about, this is what I was talking about.
That's why I walked in, because I was told to be here, so we were all in a mess, so that's all
And you
good.
were, but unfortunately, Jeff went home ill, and so at the last minute, when I got there at 3:30, it was, well, can you handle the meeting tonight? And he referred to you. So that was all, I was the only thing I knew about it.
Right now, there's
So
not a
I
whole lot.
wasn't completely crazy. I did know that it was just the wrong meeting.
There's not a whole lot we can do until the state awards me, whether they're gonna tell me that I can approve with it or I cannot approve it. We're foreseeing that there's no reason why they wouldn't, because they're not actually paying me. It's not a contract where they're paying me to do this. They're just, I have to meet all their guidelines and all their stipulations to be eligible for that. Part of the guidelines is, with the state plating is, it's, I think we talked about 300 foot wide, or 100 foot wide, 300 foot long, just a small area. I volunteered to come out once, if this all happens, to go out and clean the parking lot where it is, all the overgrowth, all that stuff, at no cost to you guys. I mean, you guys aren't really out anything other than,
Yeah, there was no designated area.
just letting me use a piece of property that's sitting there doing nothing. So,
Well, it would be my guess that another company, would be very happy to have you here, and that's critical.
oh yeah, I've already in negotiation. They've already reached out to me and talked to me about school buses, CDLs are very hard to come by nowadays, and if you keep up with the news, the CDL, they've been, tracking down on non-English speaking CDL drivers, and if you don't speak English or cannot pass an English test, they're just pretty much put you in jail, so.
Well, we're glad you're in Elwood, and we wish you nothing but the best, however we can help you.
Right now, I don't really need nothing, I guess we're all in the wrong loop on the whole situation, but yeah, that's why I've been sitting in the back corner just doing nothing, so. They said before spring, that's all they said, and that's what they said, before spring, so.
We're almost there.
Yeah, we're not too far away, you wouldn't know it this weekend, but yeah, we're not too far away. Any further from me?
Thank you for coming tonight, appreciate it.
No problem.
I need a motion to adjourn. From somebody.
Did Brian couldn't be here tonight to give us an update on Flanagan's?
Brian Cross.
Yeah.
No, I guess not.
Well, you said you was gonna reach out to him, said come give us an update on.
Well, through Chris, I didn't reach out to her. I didn't even bother. I didn't think about it.
I want to take a motion to adjourn. Our next meeting is on Wednesday, February 18th. Will you be in the state of Indiana?
No.
But
You don't know from day to
let the
day.
record show that Mr. Dunham will not be here.
You don't know what the hell's gonna happen.
But well, I have your phone number, Mr. Dunham. I will call you the evening of. Say hi to you. Floridian. Do I have a motion? I'm sorry.
Motion.
Motion for Tim, second from Jerry. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you for your time tonight. Watch out this weekend. Be careful.
All right.
I plan to be in the general area where Mr. Donahue is, taking care of him in a general way, so I will not be here either right now.
So we can assume, however,
Special assignment.
can we assume, Mr. Graham,
Usually
that
my wife tells me to take care of her father on a frequent basis.
will we have legal counsel that evening to form Jeffrey Graham?
That would be my guess that Mr. Graham would return.
Yes.
I plan on leaving, about January 30th and returning about, March 1st.
Good for you.
My wife pointed out that I'm for 15 years, and as yet we've not totaled 15 years. And so she's invited me, I soon invite me. Otherwise, we might be invited to leave the house. Oh, it'd be far enough in Tampa Bay, there's a little island in Tampa Bay called Isla. We can see the Don Cesar out of St. Pete. So at least it's far enough this morning. Now, it's not as far as his place is out of Marco. And that's about 5 degrees from the water. But at least it's warm enough to get my feet warm from here. That's difficult. I got friends in Sarasota. Oh, yeah, I got a place in Sarasota, and they're down there right now, they're coming back already, because he's got a real estate firm, and I text him, and says,
Okay.
probably like postpone that. Yeah. Thank you. That'll be a lot better. You come back at the.
Oh, Bill.
And they're having a
Here's a little pin. Give some law enforcement after you.
He said, oh, it's great right now.
Jerry, I've got to go to the men's room.
So it's always good to see
See
you.
you when I go work. 28 o'clock. A week from today.
Well,
Still be able to get to see you. I don't mean to be running, I'm going down to the restaurant. 5 o'clock. Greg, Tim, thank you for agreeing to do that. You guys are welcome.
Oh, we have to make a decision.
that today, or don't see that, and
I'm gonna tell everybody the same story. I know that, there's no reason.
no, but keep on it because you've got one. But you know, that's certificate, that happens anytime. We work on it, we work on it, we work on it. Well, where are you on it? You know, that's unfortunate. All right. Hi, Fran.
It runs and it's got a grade two, and it goes to a, it's just a concrete.
Yeah.
Does he have to sign or is he signed? Oh, okay. No, that'll work.
Bye, good night.
Where you're at,
Thank you, Will. Thank you for your help.
it's just something like that. It's easier to do.
You know that.
They're gonna come in, do this.
Is this the back page, the rest of that?
They're willing to do some certain parts and frame this up, do it this way. And it's the most optimal thing for what you're doing.
I know I have your number in my phone, but I want to be able to email you guys all those contacts.
So you got it. So you can
Because they're mine.
email it back after it's signed.
What was that?
Well, yeah, that's what we need done.
You know what? Yeah, he's got email stuff showing the price on plastic.
See anything else you need?
See, I know, and I,
And the other quote will be the same.
well, I asked for metal, so this is, I was very specific, this is what I want, because that's what code told me, that's what I want to do.
Because
But
this is
like,
giving you an
but
option.
like penalty, how can you be so much cheaper?
You got a better
on
idea
the-
for it, or you just are?
Well, and that's what I'm saying, because like, when I think of just a pole barn, we've got pole barns that we put
Sure.
equipment.
Yeah,
And you're talking, it's just, you're.
so it's like Clay has, it's what Clay has at the park, right?
Correct, it's just, you've got your,
Somebody else actually was it,
rafters, and it's just all wood. There's one of those.
What's the street department?
If they put in
Metal.
general steel, it's all.
That's,
And
yes,
it's on their quote.
okay,
And it
okay.
shows, and on their quotes, it
Well, they
states,
made it
red, solid steel, IV,
Yeah.
so.
And
And then
it's
when he's
the
got
thing.
his money, he needs to try to use that.
Well, that's what I said, that's what, and Clay's looks just like that.
Yeah.
Clay's look just like that.
Here's another thing.
Yeah, sure.
No, if it's nuts and bolts or something, it was.
Right,
It was just all- That's one thing, but if you're on a whole damn wall or something, that ain't gonna work.
Exactly. What about the ERC?
Last time,
This is outside my room.
it was still there.
Mayor texted me, or I texted him and thanked him, and then he texted back, and I said anything on this project will work with the addition.
So, and I said multiple times. Yeah. Right, sure. I understand that. Okay, thank you guys. I'll email you.
Rob, thank you, sir. Good to see you.
Goodbye.
Hey, Greg,
We're using you for.
Tom wants to know something.
Just construction.
The building.
Pardon me?
Engineering.
You're not interested.
What we want to do
Okay.
is we want to
I'll leave you alone.
get the money.
Oh, on that property, like that.
Just call me, Tim, when you,
You know, I was still confused on the executive session.
You're not interested. What's the factor?
I think, it kind of struck me during the public meeting. And I think it had to do with, well, you read the minutes, and there is reference to what the dumbass who runs this ERC made a mention. We need to have an executive session, and I think it was whole scope of buying real estate, selling real estate, just to gather our thoughts. I think that was, because you got Wharf, you got Valentine, if you really got Steve Place. I like this guy. That's big.
And so, I'm concerned about this, if we get the money, start spending it.
Let's sell it. Yeah, absolutely. Well, the way the mayor talks, or Somebody told me, it might have been Bill, that whoever it is, it's pretty hot to trot on, so they ought to take advantage of it.
If it goes through, you know, it's like a done deal.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's a damn bug.
Well,
If he leases, he'll pay himself.
call me once you have that meeting.
He said in the morning, but you know, I don't know what people, you know, your morning may be 6 a.m. and someone else may be 10, you know, so I don't know. But, so, you know, it's not like we're in a bustle up hurry, but
I can tell you right now, I sub 2 or 3 days a week. Guess what? If I don't want to sub, I just say no.
yeah.
And nobody's reached out to me, so I'll be home.
I'll give you a holler.
I want to sleep in.
Well, I do too. I was like, I said, hoping too damn early.
Well, that's my plan, Tim.
Yeah.
Anywhere from 10 to 15.
I'll see you tomorrow sometime.
Our budget is
You can.
how we did it.
Yeah, I borrowed again, I forgot. The Cesco document,
9 million to borrow one of them.
we need to sign this, Cesco.
No, I gave it to him.
See what's
You signed it,
It's
I
all
gave
right.
it to him.
My copy.
He
Okay.
took it with him.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's your.
Okay.
Well, no.
Greg, thanks again for your help. Appreciate it.
The Jerry Lee.
We are
Yes.
trying to come to some agreement.
Unless he went to the bathroom. I tell you what, we'll see if it's, well,
I don't think this is his.
City council
it might be Jackie's.
meeting, in this meeting, we said.
I'll tell you, I think he was going to go hold.
I think it's Jerry's. Is it Jerry's? Jerry brought his own folder.
Because we went to the executive session.
Jerry.
Well, anyway,
The city attorney said, and I we talked about it, and he said that would be illegal.
Damn old loose shit. You drop it in the old parking lot, you got a mess.
Bill, I don't know how to turn that thing off down there.
Then it turned off automatically.
I don't know.
I'm just.
It's the green frame is still on.
Let's get together.
I knocked on that door, nobody answered.
sheet bowls.
Okay.
I think it's automatic.
There's just a
I
lot.
don't know how.
With you knowing that, I'm leaving.
There's a lot of questions
Good to see you.
everybody wants answered. And unless we meet together, we're never gonna get, because you're doing one thing, we're doing one thing, the board of works is doing one thing, and.
Tom, I talked to Greg, he's not, he said, yeah, since he's on the ERC now, he's not in it, we just, Ron Cole, Ron Cole's son. I don't know how.
I was okay with
Like
what
I
I said
said,
until we started talking about
Greg's not here.
deadlines.
All with that property
I
out
don't
there.
think anybody's ready
So I don't know.
to spend $12 million.
Just tell Ron to go ahead and do it.
I don't think we've
Was
got
he,
that
was
kind
Ron
of
wanting to
agreement.
pay something, or were we gonna,
We could.
just let him do it? I mean, it's a cash
The
crop.
brief conversation I had with Ron,
Yeah,
and I only had one.
and I talked to
And then
him.
you talked to him perhaps the same day or the next day is,
Oh,
I'm done.
well, all that stuff's gotta be
I
done.
don't think so.
That's right.
They're doing us a favor.
Talking about,
I wouldn't charge them anything.
Joe,
I wouldn't pay them anything, would you?
I said, Joe, you don't have sewage lines out there, you don't have water lines,
I just laid
and you ain't got enough money.
So, is that okay?
It's okay with me.
Yeah, because that's gonna be,
It's okay with
Fix
me.
myself some
that's
soup.
a pretty big
We'll
project.
call it,
Joe,
we'll call
those
it
are-
less than $500.
Let me see what I can find out.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I like the way you think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I need to get a surprise. So you go for 20 years.
I'll tell you what, you're quick on your feet. That's what I like about you.
Try to be.
You always have been that way.
I wanted to be in this.
Always have been that way.
Thank you, Mr. Austin.
I'll tell you what, Christine, this has been a momentous meeting because you've got a gentleman named Tim Roman and his buddy Greg Casada. They'll get together, and we'll have this knocked down on the road. No later than February 18th.
We had to go ahead and get the new appointments.
Good night, you guys.
But the city council can still appoint new members. They didn't make their appointments the first meeting. Well, because they changed it over John Ryan's, not being married. They elected Danielle president.
Yeah.
And he acted like there was confusion, and she just made the motion as part of the minutes that it's waiting.
Until February,
Yeah. So she might put herself on there.
whatever.
I said, Danielle, I'd be all right with me. Come on.
Yeah.
It says more friction.
Come on.
It says more fireworks.
Jump in, that's fun.
Deal with it. Danielle's gonna run against you. Well, he's never told me. But I heard from other people.
I like my life. I kind of float in, do a few things, and this is right now, I'm gonna float out and go.
Get out of here.
Have to
Okay.
see. Hey, I'll see you.
See you.
Thanks for all you do, Bill.
Thanks, Tom.
You're a nice man.
Did you get that picture?
I did, thank you.
Good, yeah. See you.
Worked out well.
See you.
See you later. I'm sure I'll see you before the next meeting.
Okay.